Hello, Leo. Thank you very much for tuning into your love read. For the main part of the read, I'm using Witch's Tarot by Ellen Dugan. For supportive oracle cards, Wisdom of the House of Night. And if you look at the back here, right above my fingers, who created them. If you want this deck, looking up Wisdom of the House of Night should be easy to find the cards. But in case you need that information, there you go. Alright, we're going to do relationship first, single second. Oracle cards come out where needed. Why are we doing this? Okay. And there's another card at the bottom. Okay, you got the Page of Swords popping out. You got the Four of Cups reversed also popping out. And you've got the Nine of Cups reversed also popping out. So this whole situation, there's a passive connection. I feel like this has a lot to do with your partner. And with the Four of Cups reversed, I feel like there's, whatever that is, there's something outside of them, and they really don't really want to be a part of it, but there's just the smallest thing keeping them locked into it. And the Nine of Cups is telling me that they really, even though there's just this small connection, they're really unhappy with something around them. I feel like this is around them. There's a passive connection, something there's just this little thing that keeps them tied to it, the smallest thing it feels. And they really don't want to be a part of it anymore, but there's that passive connection where they just seem to keep going with it. Now, I feel like we need to start with what's going on outside of them, outside of your relationship, because this is directly affecting your relationship, but I feel like this might explain what's going on with them a little more. Because there's a person, and it is coming through as the King of Cups, but don't get caught up in the gender, but it's definitely a very passionate person. They've got the Ace of Pentacles hidden behind them, but what they also have hidden behind them is the Ten of Swords. This person, I feel like, is not making good decisions, and they're very monotonous with it. They're trying to keep your partner involved in this situation. They're failing. They're not doing well. At the very least, they're making poor decisions. They're making selfish decisions. That Ten of Swords is really coloring it like they're not doing well. And they're trying to make things better for themselves. And this is something like, by keeping your partner involved with the situation, that seems to be how they're rectifying it. It's almost like your partner's getting used by this person. Now, also, like, they're trying to find different ways to get your partner to do more for them. It could be a business connection, could be a family connection, could be a friend connection for all I can tell you, because it is a general read. But this connection, whatever it is, they're constantly looking for more ways to tie your partner to them, to get your partner to do more for them. They know it's not right. They do know it's not right, but they feel like this is what they need to do to survive, is kind of how they feel. This is how they feel like they need to get through this situation. That's why they're doing it. They feel like they need to. So this is going on outside of your partner, which may explain why they're doing what they're doing at the moment. Now, currently, even though your partner really doesn't want to be a part of it, they feel like they're tied to it. They're having a hard time releasing themselves from it. I'm getting... You seem to be talking with them, or they're talking to you. Who's talking to who here? You got the Ace of Wands on their side. So they're the ones with the communication. They're telling you that they have to do what they have to do. You have the Seven of Wands, and I feel like you're talking to your partner kind of like, I could tell you hate what you're doing. I can tell this isn't good for you and that you don't like it. Why don't you let go of it? And I feel you, the Leo, with the Seven of Wands. Is that the seven? Yep. Trying to say, listen, just let that go. I feel like you're trying to back them off. You're trying to like let go of the situation. Stop doing it. They're matching you, though, with this Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords trumps the Seven of Wands, quite frankly. Even though you probably are right, they're holding strong. They're like, no, I got to do this. And they're communicating very strongly. I'm going to do this. I need to do this. It may be, at this point, the reason you're seeing the Ace of Swords is not only because of the strength of the communication, but they might be opening up and giving you more clues about why what's happening is happening and what they're really dealing with. So I feel like they might be sharing more with you, maybe more than you've been getting before. So I feel like some new information is coming forward, and that's why we got the Ace of Swords on your partner's side. Now, Your challenge card, I'm noticing, is the Empress card. So, for what this is worth, one of the things I feel like that would make the situation easier on your relationship is, for now, and more like for now, I don't feel like this is a permanent feel, but for now, being a little bit more empathetic, a little bit more sympathetic. Like if they decide they have to run themselves in the ground, kind of telling them, I really don't like that you're doing that, I'd rather you didn't, but if that's what you have to do, then that's what you have to do. I'll do what I can to help you through this. I don't really believe it's the best way to go, but I will help you. I will support you during this time. So I feel like the best for you is to be honest. Like, I'm not impressed with what you're doing, but if that's what you insist on doing, I will support you and help you. I just think you have a better way to I think you should get out of this situation. I feel like that's what you're probably going to tell them. I really think you should get out of that situation, but hey, if you're insistent, I'm here for you because I'm your partner and I do love you. I feel like even by doing that and supporting your partner through this situation because they're insisting on doing that, you get the Three of Swords. I feel like it really bothers you because you feel like this isn't good for your partner. This is not something they should be a part of. This is not something... You see them as being used. Like, you see this other person or this situation as using them. And you're like, this is not right. This is not good. I don't think you should be a part of that. And it's breaking your heart to support them during this because you know your partner's being used and you do not like that. You're not okay with it. If you had your way, you'd probably go in there and take care of that yourself, but you can't for whatever reason. So it's breaking your heart to support them in this, but I do feel like that you will do that. That's your challenge card. I know the Empress is your challenge card, but you will support them for them if they insist on it because you don't want them to feel like you're against them because you're definitely not. Where you're also standing, though, I'm seeing you with the Eight of Pentacles, or it's the Nine? It's the Eight of Pentacles, if I can get my finger off of it. You're willing to do this, and you're willing to keep getting along with your partner for it, but I feel like you're looking closer, and I feel like you're constantly on the lookout, like, what can I do to help my partner kind of, rectify this situation? Because it bothers you greatly, because you're like, I don't like when people I love get used. I don't like the people I love being used as pawns. I don't like that at all. And I feel you here kind of like, what do I need to do? What else can I do to make this kind of move on without making this harder on my partner? This feels kind of heavy. Because what I'm feeling here is there's something coming up with this situation. Because the longer this goes on, your partner has the Five of Cups spiritually. They seem to know you're not happy with how this is going, and they're just kind of like, this is another level of discontent. They don't like the other side. They don't like what they're dealing with. They're not happy with it. They're feeling like they have to. And now they know that you're not happy, and they feel like you're not happy with them, or kind of like you're disappointed in them. Not that that's how you actually feel, but this is kind of how they're pulling it in with themselves. They feel like you're disappointed in them, as if they should be doing something different, or they should be handling this better. And they're not happy. They got the Five of Cups. They feel like a lot of things are going against them right now. Not everything is, but they're feeling like enough of it is that they're feeling kind of down about it. Now, where this is going is where I'm trying to get to. Because their challenge card is what's holding them back from this moving on, which is ironic to me. Their challenge card is the Strength card. Feeling like they can hold up to the situation, that they need to hold up to the situation, so they're just holding themselves together. They're pooling their strength to force themselves through the situation and to hold to it and keep going with it. Ironically, this is what I feel like is working against them. This is their challenge card. They're feeling like they have to get stronger to hold on, to hold to what they believe are their responsibilities to the situation. Again, ironically, that's what's holding them there longer. That's holding them from what they're heading towards. And quite frankly, they have a fast wake-up call coming. They have the Eight of Wands with the Tower card. The Tower card is going to make this a lot better for them. It almost like the Tower card is going to restore hope for them in the long run. But basically, the situation they're connected with this other person, it's going to implode. It's going to implode and it's going to fall away. I feel like they're going to be very unhappy about that. Not because it moved on, but because of the way it implodes. However it implodes, they're going to be very unhappy with that. Not the fact that they're moving on from the connection, but the fact that it implodes the way it does. And it's going to come in fast is what I'm getting. With the Eight of Wands, it's like here today, gone tomorrow. That's how fast. They're not going to see it coming. I don't think you're going to see it coming either, quite frankly. I feel like once it has moved on, they're going to have this Ten of Cups. They're going to feel a lot better, but it's kind of like when the dust settles, like it's moved on. And in that situation, just so you know, I have the Three of Wands over there. It is going to move on. There's a lot of cards here saying it's going to move on. It's going to self-destruct. It's going to implode. Whoever this person is who's kind of using your partner, they're going to move on to somebody else. They're going to, whatever happens, wherever it implodes, they're just going to kind of be like, well, that's that, and they're going to move on to somebody else to basically use, is what I'm getting. I know that's a general read, but I feel like that's kind of where that energy feels, so that's what it is. When they do, your partner, even though they're very unhappy with how it implodes, once it's finally gone and they're freed from it, life will get a lot better for them. I still don't see them, I don't see them acknowledging that this was better for them in the sense of like the implosion was a good thing. I don't see them looking at it that way, but I do see them grateful that that time in their life is over and feeling a lot better about it. So being okay or happy that it imploded, I don't know about that, but life improving for them greatly after it does, yes, I do see that happening. I also see after this happens for you, I see like when this happens for your partner and that implodes and they're moving on and they're going on to these feeling better moments, whatever that is, I do see you actively keeping them out of these situations. Whatever it was, whoever they got connected to that was using them or, you know, taking advantage of them, I see you here with the Knight of Swords, like blocking other people from getting a chance to do so again. And I'm also seeing the Eight of Cups as kind of like, you're not going to be constantly babysitting your partner, making sure that this doesn't happen again. But like, especially the one who did this last time around, you're going to be blocking that one as strong as you can. And anytime you get a chance, you're going to be like, nope, and keep going. But I also get the Eight of Cups as saying that you're going to move on from this yourself. You're going to have a short period where I feel like you're going to have a very protective period, a very short period, where if somebody comes towards your partner or if this person tries to re-assimilate themselves into your partner's life, you're going to block that and you're going to be like, nope, get out of here. No, there's no place for you here. Keep going. Go find someone else. And I feel like that's a short period, but I also see like once you move on from this, like I don't feel that being a way of life for you, but I feel like your partner is getting the hint. Like, you know, that situation imploded, don't make another one the same way. And I feel like that's what you're impressing on them. Don't get involved in another ridiculous thing like that. It seems to be helpful. It seems to work out. The fact that they're out of it, for one, they like being out of it. They don't want to be in another situation like that. But the way you have this moment where you're like backing people off, especially if that same person tries to re-enter and you're like, nope, get out of here. Your partner seems to take that to heart, not only that they shouldn't be involved in that and you don't want them involved in that, but if they do get involved in something like that again, they're going to not only have to deal with whatever those repercussions are, but they're going to have to deal with you telling them, don't do that. I told you not to do that again. And that seems to be actually fortifying them to stay out of these type of situations because they don't want to get on your bad side and they don't want to have you harping at them. Like, why are you in that? Stop doing this. Stop finding these people who use you. I see them like not wanting to have controversy with you on this, which is motivating them even that much more to stay out of it, stay out of things like that. So it's a good thing. I feel like it's a good thing. All right. And that's all we have for this. This is a relationship. We did like a triple layer, but I noticed none of the oracle cards come out. But like I say with all my readings, if it's not meant to come out, I don't force them out. It's just, you know, if I'm not pulled to do them, I don't force them in, you know, just to have a pretty card there. So that's why they're not there. What do we have for Leo singles? Messages for single Leos. Empowering information. Show them what's going on. Show them what they have to work with that they can really make into something they want it to be. Let's see if that's there. There's something around Leo that they can make into something they want it to be. Why are we saying it that way? We'll find out in a minute, I suppose. Single Leo. Okay. Going through a big change. Single Leo, for the ones that this connects with, Going through a big change. I did shuffle these, but we didn't use them, so no, I think we're good. Let's go for it. Okay, you got the World card where you're standing. Single Leo. I feel like you're getting over heartbreak. I really do. You had a very strong love in the past, is what I'm getting. This doesn't feel that far back. So this might be the last person you're getting over, but you got the King of Swords, or nope, King of Cups. Don't get caught up in the gender, but this is saying this is a very, very strong love that you're moving on from. You disconnected yourself from something, it just didn't work. It didn't work, and that was that. You know why that didn't work, but I also see, like, this person has the King of Pentacles in the spot over here. This is connecting to the past. Those feelings, like, they're still kind of lingering, but it's kind of like, I can't go back to that because the reason I left it is still there. If I get back into it, I'm going back into the same situation that I was unhappy with. So it's kind of like there's a very strong love there, but this is kind of, to you, it's off limits because it's like, it already didn't work. Going back to it's just going to make me unhappy again. And even though I'm not really wanting to be single, I don't want to be in misery. I don't want to come home to somebody and be like, oh Lord, you're still here. Like, I don't want to do that. Even though I love them, I don't want to see them or talk to them. That's no good. And I feel you with your thoughts with the Ten of Pentacles, kind of like you're committing to the thought that this is not a match. This is not going to work. Doesn't matter how much you feel for them. This is not a match. You got the Ten of Pentacles in your thoughts, like, no. I need something that actually connects with me, that works with me, works together with me, something that's conducive with my energy. I'm going towards better times. I'm going towards something that will fulfill me, not make me feel like this last situation made me feel. I don't want that. I want something better. I know there's something out there that will connect with me better. The last situation was not it. Ironically, I do want to say, with these two cards especially, fire and water don't usually mix. Sometimes Pisces and Aries mix, sometimes, but for the most part, fire and water doesn't really mix for obvious reasons. Fire and earth don't really mix either. These are, I guess, astrologically I'm kind of going with. Which is telling me this person, I'm not saying they're a bad person, they just didn't match you and you know that. And you're like, I know there's people out there who match me. I know I can have what I want. That's why you got the World card here. This is like really significant though, because this is hard for you to let go of. But I'm also seeing here, they're talking a lot about you cutting the tie here. Is that obedience? Obedience is a lot like justice, looks a lot like justice on there, doesn't it? And then you got the Death card right next to it. You are putting closure to this past connection. And I feel like that's what you need to do to move on. And I feel like for the single Leos this is coming to, that are drawn to this reading, that's why. Because they're saying you need to put complete closure to that, completely lock that off, just resolve it. Like, once you come to terms with, like, that will never be what I want it to be, that will never be fulfilling like I need it to be, you will let go. And I'm getting here the Lover's card with the Hanged Man in the center, and you'll notice they're both upside down. It's kind of like it's a failure. The situation has failed. There's nothing to linger on about. There's nothing to think about anymore. The Hanged Man reversed is basically somebody who's stuck to a situation, but it's kind of like they need to free themselves. It's, it's kind of like I'm only stuck to this situation because I allow myself to, because it's upside down saying you need to free yourself from it, and it's time to free yourself from it. It's a failure in love. There was love there, but it's a failure. The Three of Wands, it's like basically they're saying this has to move on. You have to put it to closure, and I just feel like you coming to terms with it, this will never be the relationship I want it to be. You will let go. You will stop trying for it. What we're coming into next. Seven of Swords. In the near future, it's like you've come to terms with this. That past love, it's like it's been lingering and bothering you. But once you came to terms with, like, that will never be what I want it to be. That will never be the connection I need it to be. If I went back to that, it would be more misery. It'd be like a hot, cold situation. When it's great, it's great. When it's good, it's great. When it's bad, it's horrible and I hate it. And for the most part, for the majority of the situation, just day-to-day life does not match. You don't like day-to-day life with this person. There were some great, passionate high points, but for the most part, it was not a match. And when you accept that, you're going to feel a lot better. The Seven of Swords is telling me you're just kind of letting it fade into the background, and you're feeling a lot better. Your strength is coming back. You're feeling more optimistic in love, about love. You got strength and you got focus, and I'm getting your focus is coming to you. Like, I'm heading in a new direction. The other person, I feel like anytime they start popping into your mind, you just think about what a failure that was, and that's not what you want, and it seems to just fade away because there's no angle to make it work out. So you're just kind of like, it's just a failed situation. There's nothing that's going to change it. You're moving on from it, and I see that. Going forward, you have the Queen of Swords with the Fragment. Even though you're feeling better about leaving that person behind, I feel like you're kind of like a little bit more cynical, I want to say. In this reading, she does come forward a little bit cynical. She doesn't always. She usually, almost all the time, comes forward as very intelligent. But with this one, I'm feeling like a little bit cynical, but also with that card, the Fragment with it. Kind of like after this really moves on, you do feel better that you let it go. But I feel like you're going to have like a little bit of a desert period where you're not really finding what you want, and you're starting to wonder if it's even really out there. I feel like you might go through a while of just a little, I don't know, go through a while of being single. I just don't feel someone else coming in. I just feel like you're not really ready for that. I feel like it's more time just of you on your own. It doesn't feel bad, but I feel like you might be feeling a little bit like you're in a desert period. Like there's nothing coming towards you. Nobody seems to be getting your attention. Nobody that you want to be with. And I'm getting, again, that little bit of that cynical feeling there. Like you're having a hard time letting people close to you because you don't want to get close to somebody else again that's just going to be a poor match. So I do see a desert period coming in where there's just going to be a while you're single. I don't think it's a bad thing, but I feel like you might be a little discontent with it, but that's where I feel this is going. Because the last situation was so strong that it's taking you a bit to let it go. And once you have let it go, it's kind of like this desert period here where you're feeling fragmented. It's kind of like you're healing. You're healing from what you've let go of. Everything, like you've ripped out all the diseased tissue, and now it's now it's regenerating, and now it's healing. It's basically just waiting for it to heal and bring you back to your whole self, so you can get out there and be the normal, fun you that you are. And that's how that's ending. Alright, I'm going to let that go there. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James, the number 4, astral@gmail.com. Thank you.